Our guest speaker, the Honorable Floyd Green, Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining. Did I leave off any? All right, let's hear it for the Minister.
Thank you. When you come to the podium after Durban, if it don't fix, you have to fix it. Yes. Our chairperson of today's proceedings, Mr. Durban Malcolm, of course, Mr. Patrick Maitland, publisher of the Agriculturalist, our Chief Technical Director, Mr. Orville Palmer, representing our Permanent Secretary, other distinguished guest members of the media, farmers, awardees, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, everybody. This is a wonderful looking audience. Give yourself a round of applause. Yeah. Boy, Patrick, you really outdid yourself this time. I really want to start by extending my heartfelt commendations to the Agriculturalists, led by Mr. Patrick Maitland, for spearheading this initiative to invite us all to celebrate and honor those who have dedicated their lives to the development of agriculture in Jamaica. The fact that so many of you are here signals the critical importance of this initiative. And honestly, we would not be here were it not for the agriculturalists coming together as a team led by Mr. Maitland to say we need to take this time to honor those who have contributed. So a big round of applause for the agriculturalists, Mr. Maitland, the team behind it. I remember earlier this year we had a sit down with a small group of us, Patrick, and this was one of the ideas that you floated. And it's wonderful to see things move from the idea stage to action. Because unfortunately, we are a country of talkers. We do talk a good talk. One of the things that we have to give Patrick credit for, he does talk, but he gets it done. So thank you, Patrick, for bringing us here today. But more importantly, I'm happy to be here in a room full of agricultural interests. And we are all here because of our awardees. And I want to start by just thanking them, the men and women who we gather to award, who really embody the spirit of excellence in our agricultural sector. In fact, your tireless efforts, your unwavering dedication has not only propelled the sector forward, but it has become the bedrock for sustainable agriculture, for community development, for concepts like environmental sustainability that a number of you have been preaching long before it became fashionable. The awardees that we celebrate today all have distinguished themselves through not only advocacy on one hand, but the implementation and the design of best practices in our agricultural sector. They are known for their creativity, their innovative thinking, their groundbreaking solutions, for looking at some of the challenges that have faced us in agriculture and working to address them. Again, most of you could have chosen other pathways instead of agriculture and fisheries, but you decided to dedicate your life to agriculture and fisheries. And we know it's not an easy field of endeavor. It requires passion at the core for you to really be successful. And the fact that you have achieved the highest standards mean that you are truly the creme de la creme, the best of the best. And we are all better off because of your service. So let us give our awardees a big, big round of applause. One of the things that I really liked is that our awardees span a diverse set of interests around agriculture. And not just looking at awarding our farmers who are critical, but those support services that make agriculture work. We have agricultural engineers, we're honoring a vet, botanist, we're honoring a sugarcane farmer. We're doing a wide cross-section, animal health. And this is critical because sometimes when we focus our conversations around agriculture, our young people fail to appreciate that there's much more to our agricultural fisheries sector than farming, than basically tilling the field. And there's so many associated professions that we need more people to get involved in. And I'm going to speak a little bit about water, maybe because you put Mr. Jazz right at the front, and he's one of our awardees. But we all know how critical water is to agriculture. So I love the fact that we are, Patrick, awarding a diverse bunch of our agriculturalists. And I do hope that coming out of this first inaugural awards, that we will take this diverse bunch, and I know a number of them are already doing it, but I want us to establish a mentorship framework and pair our awardees with some of our young people who are studying agriculture so that they can learn directly from the journey that you have trod. I think that is important. So I want us at the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, Mr. Palmer, to work with the agriculturalists, to work with CASE, to work with Ebony Park, and with the acceptance of our awardees today, to start to develop a mentorship framework for our youth in agriculture. Because I have found that even when they are interested, they need somebody to provide that guiding light and to tell them that the stress that they're going through now, you were there at one point and how you were able to maneuver. So we want to embark on that National Agricultural Mentorship Framework, and I think that is something to celebrate. The other thing that we must do is get more of our agriculturalists awarded at the national level. Far too many, let me say it differently. We have too many good people who have served agriculture who have not been highlighted on the national stage. And for a country that depends so heavily on agriculture, it is a crying shame. We are the largest employer of people. We have at minimum 240,000 registered farmers. And that is just the tip of the iceberg. When people who used to pay us scant regard for years all had to come a calling when COVID came a begging. Because the first question was, are we able to feed ourselves? Because nobody ever thought that the borders would close. But when they did, everybody starts to wonder, will we be able to survive? And we recognize the fundamental importance of our farmers and fishers. We have developed an agricultural sector that, despite its challenges, it is still regarded as one of the best in the world. Our extension services, despite its challenges, that framework that we establish here is something that people travel to Jamaica to come to study. The work that we've done in animal health and genetics, again, we all know how we're celebrating. And we might say that it's past, but I'm here to tell you, that sort of work is still happening. In fact, up to earlier this year, Dr. Wayne Myrie was awarded on the international stage for the work that he has done in lethal yellowing and in ensuring that we have gotten that under control. And he's now being flown all over the world to teach others as to how they can treat with these issues. We know we are a great nation, but we often don't say that we're a great nation of agriculturalists, and that we are. And those agriculturalists should be celebrated on the national stage. So I have determined that come the next cycle, the ministry has to take a much keener interest in the nomination process for national awards, and we have to ensure that those who have served our agricultural sector well, that they get their just due. And I don't believe in waiting until people have passed, that you then go to the funeral and say, boy, Jamaica is so much better for their service. Let us give them flowers while they're still alive. So, we're going to play our part in the Ministry of Agriculture and ensuring that those names are put before the committee, and I will do all I can to ensure that next year we have a much more awards, national awards, that is much more reflective of the sort of strength that we've developed over the years in our agricultural sector. So with that said, despite our challenges, our agricultural sector is still showing some resilience, but there is a lot to be done. So we are still showing some resilience, and I'll explain to you why we can accurately say that. In 2021, we would have hit our highest ever level of local domestic production. And that's a very interesting fact, because 2021 was in the heights of COVID-19. But thankfully, we were able to, at the ministry, design a program to intervene and purchase directly from our farmers to keep them interested during COVID-19 and to establish farmers markets. And because of that, they had the impetus to keep on planting. And coming out of that in 2022, we surpassed what we did in 2021. So in 2021, we hit our highest ever levels of 700,000. And in 2022, for the first time, we passed over 800,000 tons of domestic production. Now this year, we have seen a decline, largely because our agricultural sector is still susceptible, and too susceptible, to the changes in our weather patterns. So we started the year with the worst drought on record in the history of our country, and we ended the year with some of the most difficult floods in parts of St. Thomas and St. Andrew. So we are down about 10–11% in terms of production. But I still say our farmers are resilient, because despite being down 10%, we're still above our 2020 levels, our 2019 levels. In fact, we're about our 2021 levels, despite facing the worst drought in the history of our country. So it does mean that we have been able to develop some resilience to get through this time and not see a more significant decline. And I think for that we should clap our farmers who continue to toil despite the challenges. But as I have said to the team, the drought will come. Climate has changed, and the rains will also come. So it is in our interest to ensure that we prepare. And that's why we're spending about $10 billion now, establishing the largest ever sets of irrigation networks that our country has seen. We're putting in irrigation in South St. Elizabeth, South Manchester, Parnassus in Southwest Clarendon, Amity Hall. When you drive on the highway, the East-West Highway, heading out of Kingston to the best part of Jamaica, which we all know is St. Elizabeth. When you drive on that East-West Highway and you look to your left and you see a lot of road networks and some little blue house, and I know in your head you're saying, Jesus, agricultural land gone again. No, that is actually part of what will be a new agri-park that we will be establishing and that is the irrigation network that we have put in place. And we plan come February of next year to advertise for that agri-park as part of our Southern Plains Development Program. That is something to celebrate. But we're not going to stop, because unfortunately, some of the things that we're doing now, we should have done 3 decades ago. So we have gone through a difficult time of underinvestment in our agricultural sector, but we're fixing that as we speak. And next year we plan to break ground for what will be our largest ever irrigation network in the Southern Plains, where we will look to bring 4,000 hectares of land under irrigated water supply through the PJ Plains initiative, taking water from the Black River and using that water to ensure that the best farmers in the world finally have access to water in PJ Plains. So that is a drive that we're on, to ensure that we are focusing on food security, to ensure that we're working with the farmers to focus on agribusiness development, to ensure that we're utilizing our climate smart technologies to deal with the realities of climate change, and to expand our exports. That's what we call the new face of food. And despite the difficulties of this year, I'm not sure if you know, but we have still been seeing increases in our exports. And by now you should know that our #1 export is yam. We make about $34 million United States dollars each year from the exportation of yam. And for the first quarter of this year, we were trending above that. Last year, we made 10 million in the first quarter. This year, we've made 13 million United States dollars in the first quarter. That's followed closely by ackee, which is our second biggest export. And again, we're seeing tremendous increases in our ackee exports. And also we're seeing significant increases in a little item called sauces. Jamaican sauces are taking the world by storm. We've seen great rises through people like Spur Tree Spices. If you are in the States and you go to our Target store, you can pick up a nice bottle of the Scotch Boys. Nice small company that is now in 250 Target stores in the United States. Good things are happening, but we're not going to rest on our laurels, because we're just scratching the surface. So we are going to be focusing on some crops, and we've started that journey this year. So we are going to provide greater technical support to our yam farmers. They are still too susceptible to the changes in the weather patterns, and we have to ensure that some areas that never used to plant yam are now planting yam, because again, we are seeing the significant demand. We're going to be providing a lot of focus on our sweet potato, because, you know, as country people that say we don't have hand for sell sweet potato are fine. We're going to be putting in over the next 2 years 3,000 acres of orchard crops, focusing on breadfruit, focusing on ackee, focusing on mango. We all should know that Jamaica has the best mango in the entire world. And we are also focusing a lot of energy on our small ruminant sector, because we all love our good old curry goat. But unfortunately, by now, most of you should know, 80% of what we consume as goat is actually sheep, imported mutton. We import about $1 billion Jamaican dollars in mutton each year, and we want to change that. And that's why we worked this year with the Ministry of Finance to remove the taxation for the importation of goats for breeding purposes. And the good news is, last year we had 0 importation of goats for breeding purposes. This year, we started the project in April, and we've already passed the 1,000 mark of goats that have come in. And of that, the ministry has only brought in 200. So it means that our farmers are investing in building out their herds. Now you can clap. That's good news. So we do have a strategic plan to move our agricultural sector forward. And I want to say to all our awardees, a number of you are still active, some of you are not as active, but we want to utilize your expertise. And I can tell you as minister, we have a very open door policy for you to come and share with us, come and help guide us, come and advise us, make some suggestions, because we are in this thing together. Jamaica is being transformed, but the real ministry that's going to lead the transformation is the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, and Mining. We are going to lead the growth. We're going to lead the creation of the new Jamaica. Already they never gave us the credit, but already we have a positive balance of payments. So we are spending less for exchange than we earned last year. And a lot of that had to do with the money that we're getting from the exportation in agriculture and clearly from our mining sector. So this is the ministry that is going to lead the new paradigm, but we need all of your support. So we thank you for your service. We thank you for laying the foundation on which we're building. We thank especially, and I'm sorry for those in private work. That's great, and we appreciate you. But allow me to thank specially those who not only have served agriculture, but who have spent significant time serving agriculture through government. Because God knows we need the good people to remain in the government service. So give them an extra special clap. Because for everybody it took passion, you know, but for them it take a little bit of sacrifice too. To stay in the government service. But we can't build unless we have the best of the best in our government service. So enjoy the rest of the awards. This is just the first of many to come. And I know we will be celebrating you time and time again as the country comes to recognize that no matter what you do, you are nothing without your farmers and fishers. God bless you, everybody.
Thank you very much, Minister. And it's time now for the presentation of awards. We're going to announce the recipients, and then I believe there will be a vignette on the screen. That's like one of those small short reels, so to speak, to share with the audience who these outstanding people are. So we're going to do that right now. And our first recipient is a drip irrigation technologist, Shalom Hodara. So Shalom Hadara's son is going to receive the award on his father's, in his father's name, so to speak.
Let's take it.
The minister, I'm going to ask you to make the presentation, please. What's that?
Oh, the impact hours. Alright.
Is this doing any blocking, is it? Blocking?
And that's why.
Can everybody see the screen? Okay. We need to set this back. Where was this? You? Okay. All right, so can we have another round of applause for our first recipient? Next up, our next recipient is an agronomist specializing in plant protection. She is Marina Young. Minister? Our next recipient is horticulturalist Burrell Scarlett.
Year at the University of the West Indies, completing his BSc Natural Science, that he realized he was fulfilling his dreams. He was studying plant pathology in the Applied Plant Science course. His love for the science of plants grew when, after graduation, he met the genius Reginald Burgess. Scarlett's first job was at the Sugar Industry Research Institute, SIRIC, where Burgess was his supervisor. After the Sugar Industry Research Institute, SIRI, he had a short stint at Jamaica Broilers Group at Content in Fermentation and Organic Fertilizer Development. Then Mr. Scarlett says, he transformed his hobby of collecting and preserving dried plant parts into his first business venture. Everlasting Flowers, based in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, registered as Limited Liability Company in 1980, Jamaica Dried Floral Products Limited. Dried flowers were trendy around the world at that time. He went to several overseas trade shows, conferences, and workshops to develop his skills. Then the trend and business plateaued. He stayed in plants but transitioned to living plants. That led him to plant nursery operations and industrial landscaping formalized through overseas courses. He continued to develop his business skills. In 2000, Evergrow moved to its current home at 12 South Avenue off Constant Spring Road, Kingston's Golden Triangle. Evergrow manufactures and distributes a wide range of agri-chemicals and plant supplies, viz. Fertilizers, containers, soil, growing mixes, irrigation, and greenhouse supplies, a pioneer in the sector. He says along the way in building his plant business, he has always been engaging in experiments and taking on challenges. Mr. Scarlett, manager of Evergrow Property Services and Evergrow Garden Center, says his career has been fulfilling. I love experimenting. I can't recall over these 3 or 4 decades ever having a dull moment.
Thank you very much, Minister. Thank you, Mr. Scarlett. Our next recipient is a cane farmer, Bynard Bennett.
Good afternoon. My name is Bernard Bennett, and I am happy to be receiving the Agriculture Impact Award. I am a cane farmer in the parish of Taincatchin in a district called Linston. Working in the field for over 35 years, I was motivated by my father, who was also a cane farmer. I used to first do cabinet making, and my father gave me, during that time, 2.5 acres of land where I planted my first amount of. After doing that, and after selling it to the Bernard Lodge factory before it was closed, and I see the recipient of what I received from it, I started going around leasing land from other farmers, start planting sugarcane. I started to sell that cane to Rody Park Sugarcane Factory, which is one of the best factories right now in Jamaica. And what I really received from the sugarcane that I sold to the factory, sending my kids to school, doing other things like house, and saving that I receive, I can almost tell any Jamaican who really interested to do sugarcane that you can make an incentive from planting sugarcane or growing sugarcane. It can also take care of you and your family, and you can also live off it. For doing sugarcane from that time until now, over to the 35 years I've been doing sugarcane, having no problem. Although a lot of the factories are closed, but my factory, Rody Park factory, they are doing well. I'm also doing well. So farmers who want to, or anybody who really interested, whether young or who can get the land, can also do sugarcane farming. But before I must go, I must say again, thanks to all the people who see it best and see what I'm doing, and really I appreciate to know that they see it fit to give me this award. Thank you.
Now go tell a part of the story. He moved from 2 square, you hear that? To now 120
Well done. Both it true and true and true. Yes. I mean, his name is not ordinary. He's not Bynard. He's Bernard. You know? And you saw, can you come back up here, please, Mr. Bennett? So we can take another look and learn some kind of yeah, he's quite a fashionable gentleman as well, you know. Come on, let's hear it one more time for Bernard Bennett. Well done, congrats. All the best. All right, so I'm sorry for whoever is coming after Bernard Bennett. Well, guess who is next? The agriculturalist, Mr. Winston Thomas.
I'm Winston Thomas, Regional Sales Manager for Newport Mills Limited, manufacturers of Nutrimix feeds. But before the titles and achievements, I was just a little country boy from a rural community called Cedar Valley in the parish of St. Anne. Growing up as a kid, my parents were both farmers themselves, like most adults in this community. So I was exposed to farming from a very early age. I attended the Clarksonville All-Age School and then Jose Marti Technical High School. Jose Marti Technical expanded my horizons, introducing me to the science of farming. Here in my own rights, I became a dairy specialist. The knowledge of farming further deepened at Case, nurturing me into a professional in agriculture. My quest for knowledge continued at Nova Southeastern University, where I studied business management, Michigan State University, where I did studies in poultry science, and California Polytechnic University, where I did a certificate course in dairy science. I've worked in education at Westwood, Kempshill, and Denby High Schools, and I also worked in the coffee and tobacco industries. Every step of my journey enriched me. Today, with over 25 years at Newport Mills and multiple courses under my belt, I've harnessed enough experience to foster growth. Starting as a sales rep at Newport Mills, my mission was clear from day one. Uplifting our small farmers was my #1 priority and remains the same even unto this day. In the beginning, we were supplying approximately 15,000 baby chicks a week to this sector, and today we are selling up to 400,000 in some weeks. We have nurtured growth, ensuring the best for our farmers and their livelihood. My passion for farming runs deep in my DNA, and nothing gives me more satisfaction than to see the many successful farmers that I have worked with. When I started at Newport Mills, the small farming sector for poultry was 18% of the industry, and today that sector has grown to over 30% of local production. There are many challenges that I've seen, and I've seen my full share. I have seen many challenges to our local agriculture over the years. I have seen local dairy industry collapse from competing imported skim milk. Battling imports and lobbying the government against importation of chicken, pork, and table eggs are among those challenges. Ensuring proper infrastructure for our farmers to produce the best products and guaranteeing quality feeds for their animals comes with its own challenges. But myself and my company have persevered, proving to our government our worth and dedication to local production. For me, agriculture isn't just a job, it's my passion. A passion ignited as a child and fueled every day since. Whether in livestock production, crop production, or empowering our farmers with knowledge, and I will add, even to this day, I still aspire to be a real-life dairyman. I've worked on many initiatives over the years, and I am proud of our work with the penal institution, where inmates were allowed to participate in poultry production and learn necessary skills, so when they are reintegrated into their communities, they can become better citizens. I also assisted several schools with school farms and developed the different livestock enterprises in schools across the island. My vision has been clear: create a locally and regionally self-sustaining, knowledgeable farming community. To the young people just starting in this industry, remember that agriculture is a noble science. You aren't just farming, you are feeding nations and contributing to global progress. The possibilities in this field, they are endless. My journey, spanning decades and touching countless lives, isn't just about personal growth. It's about a shared vision and collective growth. I am dedicated to pushing the boundaries of agriculture, ensuring a more sustainable future for us all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Winston Thomas, Agriculturalist. From the Agriculturalist, we go to an agronomist. And that agronomist is Reginald Burgess.
I have been working in agriculture for something close to 60 years, in a career that spanned, I'd say, 3 different phases. I graduated from St. Augustine and McGill University, and following my formal training, I went to work as an agronomist with the Sugar Research Institute. My principal responsibilities to start and carrying through for many years was in dealing with weed management, research in weed management, and also subsequently I worked on the variety development program and various other pinch hit areas, but my probably most significant work was heading a team which tackled the disease problems which affected us in the 70s, smut and rust. And we had a very successful campaign and managed to bring those diseases under control. Subsequent to Sugar Research, I was recruited by Man Baker Limited as their development manager for the Caribbean, and subsequent to that worked with Ron Perlenk as their Caribbean regional manager for agricultural matters. The most rewarding period was in finding out and working throughout the Caribbean on some crops that I had not worked on before. I remember particularly citrus in Belize and citrus here in Jamaica, and finding some solutions for the problems which affected that crop, and for which Ron Perlenk had some very unique and useful products. After Ron Perlenk, I joined Antilles Chemical Company and continued working on the products which the then principal supplier, Bayer, brought into the Jamaican market. After Antilles closed, 4 of us former Antilles employees formed Carib Agro Distributors Limited and continued to be a supplier of inputs for the agricultural chemical industry and applicators for agriculture in Jamaica. One of my highlights was in the development of a product they called Medallion herbicide, which received worldwide recognition from the company, Ron Perlenk Bayer, for the work that I had done in Jamaica, and it was propagated all over the world in various sugar growing areas. I have not much more to say other than to thank you very much for all the people who supported me during these 60 years. Thanks very much to the Agriculturalist for recognizing me at this time. Thank you very much. Bye.
Our next agriculturalist is Byron Henry.
Byron Henry, born into a large family, was destined to be a farmer. With parents who were peasant farmers, Byron started getting his hands dirty at the tender age of 3. Byron attended Buckingham College, St. James, then went on to the Nocalvia Agricultural School, from where he graduated as head boy with the best overall average for his batch. After graduating from the College of Agriculture, Science and Education, CASE, in 1993 with an associate science degree in agriculture. He spent 5 years in the private sector with Jamaica Producers Group, providing technical services. During this time, he started his business rearing cattle, pigs, and goats in Enfield, St. Mary. Mr. Henry left the private sector in 1996 and took up a position in the Rural Development Authority, rather in 1998 as a regional marketing officer. During this time, he pursued a part-time BSc in professional business management with Nova Southeastern University in Florida. He completed that program in 2000 and was promoted to post-harvest specialist in 2002 at RADA. He held various positions before again being promoted in 2008 to Director of Marketing Special Projects and Production. During this time, he worked with programs, projects, and people from all levels of the agricultural sectors. Mr. Henry left RADA in 2014 to join the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries on secondment as General Manager. He has since resigned from RADA. For the last 2 years, he has been on contract with the Ministry of Agriculture and Mining in charge of the Export Division. His love for farming keeps him busy as he supplies ripe bananas to supermarkets under the brand H&M Farms. His wealth of knowledge in agriculture is often called on, and he freely provides technical advice and direction to many. Over the years, he has chaired the St. Mary Multipurpose Cooperative and the All-Island Banana Growers of Association. In the last 2 decades of his career, Mr. Henry has maintained his connection with the soil and is an accomplished farmer with experience in all areas of the sector, from primary production through value adding and marketing.
That's Brenna Lee Henry. Our next recipient is agricultural engineer Joseph Giles.
Greetings, I'm Joseph Giles, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Irrigation Commission Limited. The seed of my passion was planted in 1981 at the Elim Agricultural School in St. Elizabeth and then at the College of Agriculture in Portland. I was able to further my studies at the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine campus, later on at the Delft University in the Netherlands, and finally at the Florida International University, where I completed a master's in engineering management. I have dedicated over 30 years to the sector, and my story has unfolded much like the branches of a tree reaching for new heights and opportunities. In 1994, I became a part of the National Irrigation Commission Limited, serving in various capacities. Firstly, I served as a water utilization officer. Then I served as a regional systems manager. Then as the principal engineer for the National Irrigation Commission. And then I served as the director of engineering and technical service. And here I am today as the Chief Executive Officer of the NIC. In agriculture, I am most passionate about the integration of technology and innovation to mirror the ever-evolving landscape of a thriving ecosystem. Like a tree adapting to its environment, my vision is for agriculture to keep pace with the digital future, recognizing its paramount importance to the preservation of life. I'm guided by the simple philosophy: in the absence of data, you're just another person with an opinion. I'm committed After leveraging data-driven approaches, akin to a tree drawing nutrients from the sun in shaping the future of agriculture. I'm humble and grateful, much like a mature tree laden with bounty of experience and knowledge. Thank you for allowing me to share a glimpse of my transformative journey, deeply intertwined with the growth and prosperity of Jamaica's agricultural landscape. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Mr. Giles. Thank you, Minister. Our next recipient is a veterinarian, Clover Mattox.
With over 15 years of experience as a veterinary surgeon, Dr. Clover Anne-Marie Mattox is among an elite group of distinguished agriculturalists determined to help as many farmers as possible care for their animals. Dr. Mattox, who hails from the farming district of Seaton, St. Mary, is the fourth of 5 children for her late parents, Felicia and Woodrow Mattox. As a child, her aspirations were always to improve the lives of the disenfranchised and the mistreated. At age 6, Dr. Mattox developed a love for the soil and animals, which allowed her to become more at one with nature. Soon as she realized that getting a solid education was the best way to make a difference in the lives of others, she graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in General Agriculture from Case. In 2007, she completed her Doctor of Veterinary Medicine at the People's Friendship University of Russia, Moscow. After serving 10 years as a teacher with the Education Ministry and a veterinarian at the UC Russell, Windalco, Kirkvine Farms, Dr. Mattox operates a veterinary care and wellness practice in St. Elizabeth and Manchester. Dr. Mattox says she is very grateful for the support of her family, friends, and other contributors to her success and achievement over the years. She believes in and dedicates her life to nation building and volunteerism. She served as a director for 3 government boards: the Jamaica Veterinary Board Chair, Jamaica 4-H Clubs, and Jamaica Toll Authority. She previously served on the Jamaica Dairy Development Board. The practicing veterinarian believes that growth happens with baby steps, and she commits herself to small steps every day. She says, with a well-rounded education in agriculture and a lifetime of learning, you can do anything and serve anywhere.
Our next recipient is agricultural engineer Richard Powell, who will be represented by his son this evening.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Richard Powell. I'm the son of a farmer, and I was born and raised in Bull Savannah, St. Elizabeth. I attended the Ballas Valley Primary School and the St. Elizabeth Technical High School, and I gained a BSc in Industrial Engineering with a minor in Mechanical Engineering from the University of Wisconsin, Stout in the USA. I'm the current chairman of MAPEX, a full-service equipment dealership and procurement company for all things agriculture. I am truly honored to receive this award. I must say it is a humbling experience to be recognized for my work over 46 years in agriculture in Jamaica. And I am grateful to the committee of the Agriculturalist for this honor. Over the 46 years in the industry, I was fortunate to travel across the globe in search of new ideas, new technology that would be applicable to improve Jamaica's agriculture. I was able to hone my skills beside some of the true pioneers abroad and at home here in Jamaica. People like Jake Jardinier and Francis Richard, formerly of Chemical Industries, Thibodaux, Louisiana, USA. Peter McConnell, Ken Newman, George Morris, Ian Maxwell, Ore Channel, George Morris Sr. in the local sugar industry, my former boss, Sammy Henriquez, Richard Waits, and last but not least, my super mechanic, Churchill McPherson, who I regard as my brother. I'm proud to have played a role in the progress of agriculture. My work has focused on introducing new technologies and the mechanization into various agricultural industries, including a few firsts that I'm extremely proud of. Introduction of the first mechanical sugarcane harvester for Holston. The introduction of the first mechanical harvesting system for chopped cane. The design and production of our MAPEX sugarcane loader, which is right here. The first locally produced onion rotobedder created and tested in conjunction with RADA. And of course, for starting MAPEX, a full-service equipment dealership committed to finding solutions for the farmers of Jamaica. But even more important than the first mentioned above, my passion in the industry today is rooted in mentoring the future generation of productive, efficient, well-rounded farmers in Jamaica. A few words of wisdom for people and young farmers in Jamaica. Agriculture is the foundation of life. Without farmers, we wouldn't have the food we need to survive. You have the opportunity to make a real difference in the world by feeding the people of our planet. Agriculture is a noble profession. It's hard work, but it's also incredibly rewarding. When you see the fruits of your labor growing in the fields, it is a feeling that can't be matched. I am grateful for the opportunity to work in agriculture and to leave a small legacy of improvement in my country. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.
Our next recipient is an agrochemical manager, Graham Dunkley.
Hello, my name is Graham Dunkley, and my journey in agriculture started at the age of 15 when I was taught a life lesson by my father, the late Ambassador the Honorable Carlisle Dunkley, OJ. Today, I am a former board member and Director General of the Coffee Industry Board, the President of the Jamaica Agricultural Chemicals Distributors Association, a lobby group, a Director of Blue Mountain Coffee Venture Limited, a processor, producer, and marketer of Jamaican coffee, and the Managing Director of Caribbean Chemicals Jamaica Limited, a leader in the agri-inputs field. I am grateful to the Agriculturalist newspaper and the AgriLife Foundation for recognizing my impact on agriculture. These impacts range from employing and empowering families in the Blue Mountain region since 1982. The changes and improvements at the Coffee Industry Board, the transition from AgChem to today's Caribbean Chemicals Jamaica Limited, with a field force driving every single day for profitability, productivity, yield improvement for our farmers. No man is an island, and I'm here today because of the nurture and inspiration of my parents, Carlisle and Phyllis Dunkley. The critical support of my family, represented here tonight by my wife Heather and my brother Stephen. The shared vision and hard work of the teams I've had the privilege to be a part of and the honor to lead. I applaud and am honored to be amongst the other honorees here tonight. In closing, agriculture not only builds character and wealth, it is the key to Jamaica's economic growth. Agriculture is where life's lessons unfold. Jamaica is special, and being 100% Jamaican means to perk up your life. Let's join together. Let's grow together. Thank you.
All right. I didn't realize you were quite the percolator, Mr. Dunkley. Okay, congratulations. All right, it's time now for us to hear the story of an animal health technician, Delroy Mania.
Greetings and salutations, viewers. My name is Delroy Mania, a graduate of the Jamaica School of Agriculture, a retired veterinary technician where I served in the Veterinary Services Division for close to 38 years. So my big business started back in 1980 when we just got married and realized that our income needed supplement to educate our 3 4 children. It was during that very year that we started our pig production system, and we started out with a 20-sow unit, breeding to finishing. The road was rocky, as there was no structure to the industry at the time. However, by 1987, I had to close down operation due to land dictatorship. That very year of 1987, I started a cattle business when I had some lands in the bauxite company. By 1993, cattle took a nosedive, and so my breeding herd and feedlot almost went because of the spongiform encephalitis or mad cow disease. It was that very year also that I restarted a pig production with 1 gig as a gift from a friend of mine. By 2000, I was operating a 30-sow unit, breeding to finish. That year, 2000, I was invited to join a group of farmers who were understudying the pig production system in Jamaica. with a hope to launch the Jamaica Pig Farmers Association. This was done, and in 2002, we launched the Jamaica Pig Farmers Association. In July of 2002, I was selected the first vice president. That very year, 5 months later, I was given the task of leading the association as the president selected migrated. The leadership of the association proved very challenging as critical information was lacking and partnership had to be forged. Today, I am humble and extremely grateful to our team as we were able to build the solid foundation on which we have been developing. In 2002, it was classified as a backyard operation with no structure. 21 years later, not only have we changed the profile of the farmer, but we have modernized this livestock subsector. We have modernized housing, husbandry practices, the genetic quality of our pigs, waste management system, sanitation procedures, and our marketing strategies. This, along with our continuous effort to educate our farmers on new technological trends within the industry, have resulted in a pork quality that is comparable to any produce in any first world country. I'm a proud pig farmer, and I am happy that our association has been built on a solid foundation and has been respected throughout the Caribbean. As a matter of fact, many Caribbean countries have modeled our style of development and are doing so. So thanks for the recognition, and I just want to tell you that we are proud to be pig farmers. Thank you.
So what do you do when an awardee asks if he can just say something quickly? Briefly. Well, you say yes, right?
Briefly. So so you would have seen where I elaborated on the Pig Farmers Association, because when I was told that I would be given this award, the impression was that I was given the award because of the work that we have done within the pig sector, right? My career with the Veterinary Services Division, which spanned over 37 years, was totally different, but my title is an animal health technician, right? But in truth and in fact, a pig farmer. Thank you.
And he's not being pig-headed. All right, so the man assigned with the duties of collectively representing the recipients this evening is Mr. Joseph Giles.
Thank you very much, Mr. Master of Ceremony, Minister, CTD, colleagues, the agriculturalist, Mr. Maitland. Well done, sir. I consider it, a privilege to be speaking on behalf of the following awardees. When I sat there and look at the persons and what they would have achieved, I wondered why Mr. Maitland would have asked me to speak on their behalf. And I did not bring a script. And if I had, I would have to deviate from the script. But I want to respond by using two words. Two words. The first word is impact. The dictionary defines impact as a marked effect or influence, having a strong effect on someone or something. what I can say, the persons who are or were awarded, if you please, have made a significant impact in the agricultural sector. The other word is one of my favorite words. It is mindset. And this is the definition. It said, the characteristics are mental attitude that determine how you will interpret and respond to situation. I'm saying to us this evening, if we have a mindset that we are the trailblazers in the agricultural sector, we can do wonders in this country. We have an awesome responsibility because of what our forefathers ahead of us would have done, and everybody in the agricultural sector would have spoken about TP Lekki. I challenge us this evening, let us stop use anecdotal information to make decisions in the agricultural sector. Let us collect data. Let us use data to make decisions. Minister spoke about food security. This is the group that has the responsibility to feed this nation. The harsh reality is that we have less water, but we have to feed more people. We have to produce more chickens. We have to teach more students. So we have limited resources, but we have to do much more. So, Mr. Maitland, we are more than grateful for this award, but it is just a start. We have this awesome responsibility to ensure that other persons can be rewarded, and not only rewarded, that the country benefits from our experience and our training. So, colleagues, fellow awardees, I'm grateful, and I know you are, to be truthful, when I sat there and see some of what we're doing, the agricultural sector has a lot of talent. The good book says, if you don't, if you're hiding your work under the bushel, nobody will know. Nobody will know. So let us stand out there as agriculturalists, take our rightful place in this country and make the difference. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Giles. A quick announcement, a silver Toyota Corolla Axio is blocking the departure area. Please, can you remove the vehicle 0927H2? 0927H2. Thank you very much. Assuming the person is still in the room. If not, hopefully he or she has gone to remove the silver Toyota Corolla Axio. Okay. All right, so it's time for us to get a little music going from a popular trumpeter who works out of the Fab Five band. And then we will have Miss Shanika Waysome move the vote of thanks. And then we'll invite all recipients or designated recipients, as in those who are designated to receive awards on behalf of awardees, to join us for a photo opportunity in front of the banner here. And that should take us, yeah, that will be the end. All right? You sound disappointed, all of you. Never mind. All good things must come to an end, they say. All right, hopefully, has the vehicle been removed? Does anybody know? Who was it who wants it to be removed? Nobody wants it to be known. Anyway. All right, so we have a saxophonist who, yes. You know, there's a song I heard on radio some years ago, Tony Rebel. Mess up your mind, broke up your heart in two. I will be your cardiologist. Remember, when you don't know what to do, always check your therapist. I see you're looking really hard to please, and you're wondering where I'm going with all of this. Be careful of the request of your birthday suit. And who wants to be your gynecologist? You must be know something from the heart. I don't know, it just came to me a while ago. It's right. It's right. It's just one of those things. Anyway, let's get a real saxophonist here now. Here he comes. Come on, let's put it. Oh, it's a trumpet. Okay. Oh. All right, let's hear it one more time for Andre Palmer, trumpeter, but he's also a saxophonist. No? And a keyboardist. No? All right, never mind. A drummer? No. All right. Well, I was just giving you an opportunity to allow me to trumpet your performance, you know? But no, that didn't work. All right, never mind. All right, so it's time for us to move the vote of thanks. Shanika Waysome is going to be helping us in that regard. Shanika? Oh, there she is.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. As we wrap up this splendid ceremony and go our separate ways, I would like to express my sincerest appreciation to all of you who have attended the Agriculturalist Impact Awards. To our sponsors, we thank you for your continual support in our mission to honor the people who have revolutionized the agriculture industry. Thank you all for the stunning speech done here tonight, and for recognizing the goal the Agriculturalist prides itself on. That music Palmer will love me all the way to my home. Mr. Malcolm, thank you. Dion, this decor is fabulous, and I don't know what we would have done without you. I particularly I particularly want to thank you 12 awardees for what you have done for the sector. The effort and contribution is unmatched and can't go unmissed. Thank you all once again.
So all that's left for us to do is to thank Shanika Waysam for thanking everyone. Thank you very much, Shanika. All right, it's photo opportunity time. So we're going to invite the recipients and or their designates to come forward holding the awards and positioned in front of the Impact Awards banner. Well, you know the drill. Shorter ones to the front, please. So we're going to ask the professional photographers to help us to help us in positioning the recipients.
Everybody's smiling. After three to agriculture. 1, 2, 3. Agriculture.
Hello.
Sorry, I'll go on the road, my bad. Come on.